guys, so I'm going to be doing a review on Batman issue 18, which I got for $3.99, but let's just round that and say $4. Focus. There we go. I think that glare might have been in the way for the price, but then you guys will just have to trust me. I keep messing up review videos I've been trying to do today. I gotta get my head in the game. So yes, time for the review. As always, the first part will be 100% spoiler free. The next part I will go into some spoiling parts, whatever. But yes, let's start out with just overall opinion. Pick up this comic. I really like it, even though it gave me a serious sense of deja vu, but it's not exactly unwelcomed deja vu. It's kind of like, it's a little bit unwelcomed deja vu, but I still really like it. And also, if you're a Supernatural fan, they make a reference to shirtless Winchesters. I am not even kidding. It is literally in the dialogue. I am not kidding you right now. But, okay, so that part alone made me really want to like this. But I think this book is really great. It shows what Batman is going through as the aftermath of Batman Incorporated issue 8. So if you want to see the aftermath of that issue, you really need to pick this up, because I think this is, once again, I say this at the end of like all my comic reviews. It is setting the pace for the future of what is going to happen soon and what is soon to happen, which is the same thing as what I just said. But yes, this sets pace to that. And so yeah, I think that this is definitely worth picking up. I think everything from the art, the dialogue is pretty solid. There are certain parts that bug me, but they're kind of explained later. So yes, now is when I do a dramatic pause and give you the chance to X out if you don't want any spoilers. So yeah. I really wish I had either Jeopardy or elevator music playing for this, but sadly, there is none of that. I apologize. Okay, so I think that's long enough. So, okay, let's commence with the more spoilering part of this review. This comic also centers around Harper and Cullen, who is her little brother. They go to visit their father in jail, and he is not the most swell guy to hang around. It's more Cullen who wants to visit him than Harper, who's kind of done with it all. And he says he knows she got her special friend to lock him up. And I think we all know the special friend in which he is referring to. She says she doesn't know what he's talking about. What does he mean, special friend? And then the cop takes him away, telling him his visiting hours are over. Harper gets suited up in her suit and utility belt to go and stalk Batman. Once again, deja vu of Tim Drake. And she notes how Batman's been working nonstop. And we all know no matter what job you have, it's not good to work nonstop without a break. But especially not in his job, I guess you could call it that. It is not good to get tired. It's not good to lose your focus. It's not good to burn out, so to say, because in his profession, he could get...
I'm singing a really catchy song.
In the profession Batman is in, you can't afford to get burned out or you die. So, and that's putting it very plainly, but she said she recognizes that look in his eyes. She's seen it before, and she's genuinely concerned about him, so she stalks him as he once again acts rash and he's exhausted. So Harper shows up to try to help, and then she says to Batman how he has to admit she's gotten better since she started training. He said, "If you've been training, why don't you block this?" She asks what he means, and he punches her in the face through a fence. Very swift Batman, and yells at her how this isn't a game and she could get killed. And she says, and that's putting what he said in more pleasant text, and she says she's not an idiot. She knows she's not ready, but that just means she's not ready yet, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. You know you can't make me. I started quoting her halfway into my sentence. And then she starts talking to him, saying she has no interest in knowing who's under that mask because she doesn't want him to be a person, because people always let her down. And then she starts to try to tell him what her mother used to tell her, and he says he doesn't care what her mother used to tell her. Nice Batman. And then takes off. And it turns out, you find out he broke her nose, and she decides she's not giving up. She's going to go to Wayne Enterprises and talk to Bruce Wayne. She drops some blueprints off saying she thinks it might help, and says how she's worried about Batman. And Batman says and Bruce says he'll have the engineer look at the blueprints, and she thanks him and leaves, and then meets Batman on the roof later. Batman apologizes for breaking her nose and admits was the reason that her father got locked up. He did arrest him because he owed her one for saving him. And I keep looking down at the comic instead of the camera, I'm sorry. But then she finally tells him what her mother used to tell him, and then Batman says he's leaving the city I'm leaving the city to my associates for the evening. Someone reminded me that I needed to take care of some things, and she asks what, and he says himself. He hasn't slept in days. So she then takes off with a final word to him. And I think definitely Harper's going to end up being the next Robin. I think it's a safe assumption anyway, and that's my opinion. I think she's going to end up being the next Robin, and I think she'll probably make a really good one. Now, the reason that this brings back a lot of deja vu is because Jason Todd's death, pre-New 52, Batman got reckless, he started fighting nonstop, and Tim Drake stalked him around taking photos. Now, Harper didn't have the camera, but she was doing some Tim Drake stalking extraordinaire type deal and trying to talk to Batman and kind of telling him how he needs a partner, he needs help. And a lot of people said that reminds them of the pre-New 52 Tim Drake, and it really kind of does remind you of him. But I still really love her character. I really like this comic, and I really recommend you guys picking it up. So that is my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next video, hopefully. Bye, guys!